Alright, helicopter flight simulation enthusiasts, let's get on board this Airbus H125 Squirrel helicopter, and it just looks good. That shape of that machine is excellent and it looks great in this sim. But I'm going to be a bit more focused on how it handles in flight and a couple of problems with the way things are currently running in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. A simulator that I'm nonetheless really enjoying getting to grips with, but a few little problems that we'll have a look at here. So as I'm making this, I'm just kind of thinking of people who want to do more helicopter flight simming in the new sim, or, I don't know, people who, like me, are into helicopters and just want to get the most out of this experience. So I've just gone directly into this flight. I am at Mechanics Bay, NZMB, in New Zealand, in Auckland, the wonderful volcanic harbour city of Auckland. A couple of volcanoes right through there. Brilliant. This is a great place to fly, really scenic, and some nice attractions too. Some of this photogrammetry scenery, you could say, oh god, that looks a bit rubbish, but on the other hand, like, this does have the kind of the whole world covered, so I can sort of spawn in anywhere. Everything is default in this flight, default helicopter, default scenery, and this is what it looks like. And like, even though, yeah, that's a bit low resolution, but on the other hand, you know, I can fly anywhere in this machine. That's on the planet. It's kind of mind-boggling still that we have this, that we can just hop in the machine and do this at home. So anyway, let's start to focus on this flight. This is how it looks as I have started the flight. Now, there's a couple of things that I recommend you do to make this a bit easier on yourself. One, I really recommend this input viewer that you can download, flightsim.to. It will have this available to you. This is an input viewer. I'm just wiggling the pedals there a little bit. You can see what impact that has on that, and lowering and raising the collective there. So this will just help you maybe diagnose a few little problems and give you a bit more information on what you're doing. I find that really helpful. Now, something else here about flying the Squirrel. The default view I don't find is ideal for me. I need to just hold down the right mouse button there and just tilt down a bit. I like it just so that I can see under the panel there. I need a little bit more sensory input. Situational awareness is always really hard on a two-dimensional screen like this, and just blocking that little extra input off down the bottom there, I found was making things a bit harder in the Squirrel. So I find that's good, and I just like to use the mouse wheel too. I'm just going to go out just a couple of steps of magnification there, and I think that's about right. That was good. Now, we would like a bit more of a view on this, so we just take that off night lighting and onto day. The instrument lights just don't seem to work at the moment. That's a bit silly, so we'll just have to make do with that. The weather here in Auckland today, this is live weather, obviously a bit cloudy, some showers. Look at that shower going off there to the east. That looks stunning. Brilliant. Don't fly into that. Very gentle wind from the southwest, only like 1 or 2 knots, so that's going to make this nice and easy today. Right, so we're all good to go here. Everything's checking out, everything's in the green. I can just start to apply the collective. Now, this is a French machine, which means that we are going to need to add right pedal, like what I'm indicating there, to stop the nose from going to the left as we add collective. And as I add that right pedal, the helicopter will start to get something called translational tendency, and it will want to move to the right. So I will need to, I beg your pardon, it'll want to move to the left, and I'll need to counteract that with some right cyclic, like what I'm showing there on the input viewer and the stick. So that's what's going to happen there, I predict. Let's see what happens in reality. Let's go! Oh, I'm so sorry to these passengers. Yeah. Okay, we are going to add collective now. I'm ready on the right pedal there. I'm ready with a little bit of cyclic, and let's see what happens as I add collective, slowly adding, getting light now, tilting back a bit because I could see that wanted to go forwards. Adding collective still. What's this pickup going to be like? Oh, the pressure's on. Wow, there's a lot of collective I'm adding. Okay, now there's the translational tendency to the left. I'm not counteracting it enough with the right cyclic, but I think now I am. and we are reasonably stable there. Look where that input viewer is. That's what it took to get this machine stable. My stick is a Microsoft Force Feedback 2 from a long time ago. It's a non-centering stick, and it makes these sort of direct input, sort of manual helicopters, I think, a bit easier to fly. Okay, let's push off over here. Adding collective. And keeping the nose down. Let's not go into the container terminal there. Those trees look a bit unfortunate, don't they? And the photogrammetry or tin. That's Mount Victoria right ahead, and North Head to the right, and behind them, looming moodily, is the island volcano of Rangitoto. Great. So, what are we doing here? Focusing on the flight. What would be nice right now is to add some cyclic trim to keep the nose down so that I don't have to hold the stick forwards the whole time. But guess what? Look at the trim indicator there in the input viewer, how far forward that is. The trim is having absolutely no effect in this Squirrel. So that is not great. What's also not great is I don't have the landing light on. I finally figured out the key to get that on. Landing light is on the top of the collective there. Toggle it on. The indicator comes on the panel there. Also don't have the anti-coils on. Not very good piloting skills today. Okay. Good. I don't need to get a whole lot higher than this. I'm at 700 feet. Great. Another shower coming in there from the southwest, so my intention here is to get on to the helipad on top of an office building here in the CBD. Getting out to 800 feet now. I really don't need to get higher than that, so I'm just bringing in the collective a little bit. That is reducing it. I'm finding the Squirrel quite stable and quite nice to fly, really. It's smooth, it's not overly floaty. I feel like I've got a nice direct input onto things like the cyclic. The rudder pedals, I find in 2024 most of the helicopters are sort of quite twitchy around the nose, the yaw axis. I think that's probably pretty good. And we're nice and stable here in the cyclic. Now look at the shower coming in, great timing. So that building sort of below me and directly to the front is where we're going. There is a helipad on top of that building. The ASB Centre, or ASB Tower I think it's called. So let me try and stabilise this. We are losing a bit of altitude now, so adding or raising collective. Trying to keep stable here. Now we're going to encounter a bug here, which is pretty annoying, and you'll notice this in one of the precision landing challenges with the Squirrel as well. It's actually not limited just to the Squirrel, it does occur in other machines as well, and you'll see it as we get down onto this pad. Well, we are getting a bit of turbulence there. I'm raising the collective, and I'll need to add more pedal as I do so. I'm getting a bit low, let's fix that. Better. Right. We're going to get down onto this pad, and I am going to get magnetically flung away from it. That's what's going to happen here. That's the bug that we're talking about. So this approaches, I was a bit low there for a bit, but it's not looking too bad right now. And the bing! That wasn't me, that was whatever this bug is. Let us try that again. See, it gets very hard to re-stabilize the machine when that happens. It's pretty off-putting. Seems to, yeah, there it goes again. Whoa, and again. Yeah, like, I wouldn't recommend trying to handle this if you're a beginner. Whoa! Wow. That is like, I have got a swinging magnet repelling me whenever I get to within a certain height, and it's very hard to recover. So, let's just try and get back over here. I think I've almost fixed it. Oh, now we're going backwards. Okay. I'm more or less into the wind here, southwest. Okay, I'm just going to plonk it down on the pad because that has just been so annoying. So, right skidders on the pad first, and lowering the collective, and now we settle down. Oh my god, that was stressful. Right, so we made it onto the pad in the end. It's just a pity about whatever that ridiculous bug is that's flinging us away from it. Why has that gone dark again? Okay, alright. Is that just because of the lighting change with that shower coming in? Oh, I love this. Look how good that looks. I love those light shafts in the back there. Excellent. Oh, it's all nice over on the North Shore behind the Auckland Harbour Bridge over there. Very good. Oh, I think that looks just great. Again, that tin resolution, not that high. Oh, Sky Tower. But you don't have to download the whole world. It streams to your computer. I've had no real problems with streaming. I'm, I guess, one of the lucky ones. I think some people are not going that well with the streaming, but it's working just fine for me. And look at that. I mean, even though the resolution, like I was saying, is not that great, but look at it. You can just go anywhere with this. Oh, I'm just repeating myself now. Alright, back inside. Okay, let's try another helipad at the Auckland Hospital. I'm going to bring us up here. Adding the collective, getting ready with the right cyclic and the right pedal to counteract both the tendency of the nose to move to the left and the helicopter to move to the left as well. Up on one skid now. I think this is going to be not a terrible pickup. Oh, I'm pretty pleased with that actually. Good. Okay. Off we go. Yes. Oh, a little bump out to the front there. I wonder if that was the reverse of the magnetic repulsion. Oh dear. I hope they get that sorted. So, we will head back out to the east and we will try for the Auckland Hospital landing pads. I don't want to gain too much height here. It would be nice to be able to trim down on the pitch, but look at that. I move that forward and it does not work. So, let's hope they fix that one as well. I'm trying to focus on both the positive and the negative things here. I don't want to come across only negative. I mean, this machine does fly nicely. It feels pretty good. It's just that these little bugs need to be sorted out. I mean, we're only a week and a half into the launch, I suppose. Give them a chance. This is better than what we had at the start of 2020. We did not have any helicopters at all. And they were a bit iffy even when they did finally get going. I tried the Bell 407 again in 2024. Oh god, just don't. Just don't. They've done very little conversion work to make it work in 2024 and it's just as strange to fly as it was in 2020. The Squirrel's nice though. Good work, people. So, there is Auckland Hospital. I'm getting high again. I need to be careful about that. I need to lose not too much speed as I reduce the collective here because I do not want to get into a vortex ring state, which happens when we descend directly into our own downwash. I think we're recovering it. There's a little bit of airspeed there. What's that, about 30 knots is it? I can't quite read it. And a little bit of turbulence there. There's two helipads on the end of that sort of long flat roof there, so let's go for one of those. That tablet really is in the way there. I can't figure out how to hide it. It's a bit of a pain, to be honest. Let's try and... There's some click points behind it, but they don't seem to do anything. I'm fast here. Let's get this under control with a bit more collective. Yes. I didn't effectively control the... Well, there we go. There it is again. The magnetic repulsion, I'm calling it. Okay, let's see if I can fix it over here. We might get another... Whoa. It's hard to stabilize when it happens. Yeah, a bit south there. The wind, such as it is, very light wind today, is coming from about the direction I'm now pointing into. I need to not collide with that bit of the building. Am I going to get flung off again by our invisible hand? Maybe not. A little bit wobbly there, sorry about that. Let's try and control that a bit better. Trying to get into a stable hover over the H. We can blame my piloting skills for anything that's going wrong at this point. Yeah. I think I just didn't have very good awareness of where the right skid was hanging. And we got there in the end, so yeah, this is interesting, isn't it? I think that's a smaller pad than the one we already landed on. Huh. Okay, let's now that we've experienced that magnetic bug again, Get up on our right hand skid here, raise the collective and see if we can do a successful pickup here. Whoa, sliding backwards a bit. Let's fix that by going forwards on the cyclic. Stable hover, I think, well, it's just a little bit squirrely around the nose at the moment. Maybe the wind's picked up. No wind socks here, unfortunately. Pedal turn to, where shall we go? Into the wind there. Let's just go into the wind here. So, up on the collective, sort of confined area takeoff, lots of power, down to the nose. Grafton Bridge goes below us there. And we're off. I like the sort of the slip indicator there. It's a little bit more stable than the string or the wool. So it looks like I'm doing okay on coordination there. Back out to the harbour, there's Auckland War Memorial Museum with some missing textures, and it's coming across a bit pinker than it is in real life. Oh dear. So it's kind of hard to get up to our normal speed here because of this business with the missing trim. So I've got to really push forward on the stick here to get any speed up, and I can't sort of relax my hand because I have to, because I don't have that trim control. I'll just zero that trim anyway. There it goes back into the centre. Mechanics Bay will be on our left, just behind the glare shield there. So let us go into Otake Basin here. And come back around to the west, and we'll land back where we started from at Mechanics Bay and see how that goes. I like the rain sound effects hitting the canopy or the roof. Sounds good. Again, I've got a bit high here. I shouldn't really have busted through 1,000 feet. Be a bit more careful. So Mechanics Bay is very a long way below me now. I'll just maybe head off to North Head in the front there and get down to about 600 or 700 maybe. And actually that gets us out of the cloud a little bit better as well. Snuck up a bit too high there. Good. Yep, so the slip indicator there, the little bit of the sort of the wind vane, that little bit of metal just in front of the screen, the windscreen, the canopy there. It's telling me I needed a little bit of left pedal. How does that tally with that one? Yeah, don't know. I think the balance ball instruments seem to be a bit off in 2024 at the moment. I don't know if they're that useful in helicopters as things currently stand. Okay, we are at 40 knots. We're at 220 feet. And Mechanics Bay is right in front of me. It's actually where they launched the search and rescue helicopters from for Auckland. They do a brisk trade. There's lots of recreational and commercial operators in this part of the world, and some pretty rough weather too. Exposed to those open sea conditions is New Zealand, long and thin landmass. Okay, little bit twitchy around that sort of cyclic left and right axis at the moment. I wonder if that's the wind again. No wind socks again, it's a pity. How will we go here? I'm coming in a bit fast. Just bring this back up here. Add the collective in. Yes, I've just split off too much speed now. Fix this. I'll see if I can get onto that number 3. Oh dear, shouldn't challenge myself like that. See if I can get onto that number 3. Just balancing all the controls right now. Collective, cyclic, and pedals. Not bad. It's going to be a bit hard to gauge my height, and I'll just have to sort of imagine now that pad below me. Yeah, that was not the... Oh dear, I think we slid over the ground there a bit. Or, oh, was it just as it just came down? Oh. And I was really nose forward. That's interesting. The wind must have picked up. Okay, so how do we go? Maybe I should fix that. So, again, right pedal, right cyclic. It's a little bit sticky to the ground, the H125. The default R66, the Robinson, I find just really floats off the ground very quickly indeed. Oh, hello, that's alright. Yeah, so there we go. I'm really enjoying discovering how the helicopters are handling in 2024. I'm enjoying the conditions. The world just feels really alive to me in a way that 2020 had not fully achieved. So I'm really impressed. I did try to start up this helicopter from nothing, a cold and dark start, but then I found that the flight instruments didn't work at all, so that was another strange bug. They're going to be working on these things. It's going to take a bit of time, but there's plenty of fun to be had in Flight Simulator 2024. I hope these videos I'm making are useful to people who want to get a bit more exposure to helicopters and to improve their skills. I'm having a blast. Hope you are too. Safe flying. And enjoy yourselves like those people just did, I'm sure. Oh, they're pretty a bit frightened by some of the things that happen on those helipads. Take care. See you next time.